JL Rock, percent off collector, and we're here with another action figure unboxing and review. And today we got one that I've been waiting to get my hands on for a while. We got the King Grayskull here from the Masters of the Universe Revelation. So without further ado, let's go check it out. All right, we're back here at the whiteboard, and I am so happy to have this one that I'm going to be looking at today. And this is from the Masterverse Masters of the Universe Revelation King Grayskull. And honestly, I was late to the party because, I mean, I liked He-Man as a kid, but it wasn't like, it was probably maybe my top 10, but not top 5. And, you know, when the Netflix show came out, I mean, the first thing, of course, I heard, like everyone else, was people tripping and crying and bitching over how much Tila was in it and lack of He-Man and all types of other crying. But, you know, I enjoyed it, especially once I watched all the series together. Like, it made sense. It made the world whole. And I think that they did a good job. But, you know, hey, everyone has their own opinion with that, and that's totally cool. But I have to say that what made me so happy about this was the actor that voiced this. Oh man, his name, I always mess it up. Dennis Hazabert. Oh my God, Hazabert. I always mess his name up, but I just remember him as President Palmer from 24. So if you guys watch that, I just thought that was cool. And look, as a black guy, seeing that he was black was pretty sweet too. So we're gonna be looking at this figure. You can see here, you see all the different figures I came with. I actually picked this up from Amazon. It was a good deal too. I only paid, I think, $12 for it. So I'm not sure if the line suffered or something else, but hey, that's fine. As a percent off collector, this made me happy. So without further ado, let's get this bad boy open. Take a look. All right, man, that just looks sweet, man. I mean, I guess a more experienced collector, because I am not that. I'm a novice, I'm a beginner, I'm a newbie. But someone let me know if there was something about either this specific line or this specific figure maybe wasn't popular as much, maybe because of some of the stuff with the show. But I mean, I don't know. This looks awesome to me. So, I mean, from the weapons to that cloak, I mean, an extra head. I mean, especially for that price point. I mean, you see what they're charging for some of these figures. The shield looks like, I mean, especially that cloak, man. I just couldn't get over how that hit. Well, I guess it's a cape, because a cloak would have to go like, oh, I forgot this twisty tie. I guess the cloak would have to kind of be up and over, kind of like a wizard's cloak. So this would just be more like a traditional cape. But it looks sweet. I think that altogether the way it presents is just awesome. Let me free him. Oops, let me get this one down here. Oh yeah, I did get it. Didn't seem like I did. Oh man, that feels so good. Oh, this one here. Man, it's hard to see some of these here. I'm getting old, man. I can't see everything. And then of course we got the extra hands too. So I mean, altogether, that is just, I just think that's awesome considering for the price point. I mean, how many figures you don't get anything like that and they're charging $20, $30 for it? All right, so we're definitely gonna go through this figure in just a second, but let's first start with the accessories. So as I said, we got extra hands. So we got fist, a closed fist. So that's cool. And then we have just regular open hand. And so the regular hands that he has is kind of like almost like the grabbing hand for the swords. So that's cool that you have different. I mean, I guess you could say you could have more. So you could have 2 of these, 2 fists, 2 open hands, but I got no problem with that. And then the head with the braids and all that, I think it looks sweet. This is the more like calm, stoic look, where the head that's on there is kind of the mean, angry, ready for battle look. But I think that looks pretty awesome. And then the swords, really nice. I really like that it's a hard enough plastic that it doesn't come out all bent and warped. Like sometimes you get these figures and the sword is like all like wimpy wimpy wimpy. But this one is actually, it's, you know, it's malleable, but it's not, it didn't come out where it's just like all bent. So it still looks like a good sword. And then so is the other one here. So I mean, yeah, the design isn't anything crazy, but it does what it does well, and I appreciate that. And then of course there's the shield, and I just think that that shield is sweet. They put a little extra light, it deserves it. So you can see how you can hold it like that. All right, so let's look at the figure itself. And like I said, right off the bat, what I loved about it was just the way that this felt. Like, this feels soft, man. I'm not sure if this is just regular cotton or whatever, but it feels good. Like, it's a really soft feeling thing. It doesn't feel like it's just something that flakes off. Like, I don't see any. So, and then this cloth cape, and what's really cool about it is it has the wire. You can feel the wire in here, and what that allows you, just in case people don't know, is you can play around with that to get like a different look. So if you want to have it like kind of wind blowing forward, kind of like around him like that, you can do like weird things. You want to have it more flared back and up as if it's catching some wind while he's doing something, you can do that. So that's cool to have that. I think this is only the second figure that I have that has wires in the cape. And you see how it has that torn design, which I like it for, you know, these type of battle type people. It makes sense that it's something's kind of torn, it's not perfect or anything like that. And then the figure itself, I mean, it's pretty sweet. I mean, he's got these like big gigantic arms. It's like, it just feels like it's just something where it's like, it's hard for him to close it because he's just so muscular. But let's go through articulation right quick. So it doesn't have, actually it does have the ankle rock. It just doesn't really fold that much forward or bend that much forward and back. But you are able to like rotate it like that, so that helps you with posing. Then you got the cut at the boot, so you can turn that all the way around to get the move. And then you have the double jointed legs, so you can get the far back turn on that. Then you have to cut at the hip as well. And then you have at the waist, and you have the chest crunch. And then at the hands, you can rotate the hands. Obviously you can remove these hands to switch it out. The bracelet also moves around. I wonder if this one comes off like with Chun-Li. When you remove the hand, you can remove the bracer. Then you have the double jointed elbows. So you can do moves with that. And then you have the shoulders. Now here's the thing, like you see here is where you have the bend. But I mean, it's so big, it's kind of like you have to like squeeze it to get it down. So it's like you have to like, I have to see where it is and then line it up and then like bend it down, because it's like, dude, swole. So it's like, you know, he's not gonna be like just hanging out there with like these little wimpy arms. No, man, this guy's ready for battle, man. He's like swole. And I mean, I like how the hair drapes down, the insignia that matches what's on the shield. The head, you can move it a little bit, not as much as some of the other figures, but you can still kind of look up a little bit. Can't really look down. Part of that could be because of the hair, because the hair goes back here as well. But you can turn the head and all that. And as I said, it's just an awesome looking figure. So let's take a look at him with his accessories. All right, so here he is holding his swords and the shield. And like I said, I think together it's just a great look. I love how you're able to have the little straps where you're able to slide it on and then still have him hold the swords. By the way, the hands, you know, they're not like super malleable, but you can like pull on the fingers to open it to fit, you know, the swords a little bit so it gets a good grip. Or if you have other weapons you want to play around with, you can do that as well. So that's a nice touch, because sometimes they make the hands so hard that you can't really do anything with it. So I like the fact that you're able to play around with the hands. And while I was doing this, I did confirm that the bracers do come off, but I'm going to actually show you guys that as well. But I just think that overall, it just looks really nice. I'm really happy with the figure. I think it's a really good take. It's a nice, because I had some of the old He-Man, the old style, and I just think that the upgrade that they make, you still see that it's inspired. It still looks like the old style, but just modernized, and I really appreciate that. But let's take a look at the hands. And I always like when it's easier. So as you can see, that was pretty easy to take off, and then you can see you can slide it off. And what's good is it's like the way it's designed, you can do it both ways, but this side's a little bit bigger, so it's easier to switch it out. And then you can just plug in the other hand, and there you go. And you have like the giving hand, like shake your hand, which I like that. And let's see the head. So the head, sometimes depending on it, can be a little bit difficult, but that came off pretty easy. Let's see if putting it on is just as easy. I know sometimes you have to get a little water. Oh, but no, in that case, no, it went on pretty good. So let's see, once it's on, can turn around, and like I said, what happens is the way the hair goes, it kind of gets in there in the back, so that's what kind of limits the motion, because it's like a two-piece. You got two here holding it, and then you got two here, so when you move it around, so it's like, yeah, you don't get super range of motion as far as the head, but it's still good enough. I say it's good enough. And like I said, with the wired cape, you can play around, get that wide. And I have it on a Borderlands stand just because that was the first one that fit. But here we can see. And as I said, I just love the back. So I guess, would that be a cloak? Because I mean, this doesn't go over the head, so I guess not. But it looks really, really nice. I like how you can like put up a little bit higher so it shows off. But I really like how that looks. And the stoic face is really nice, so I really appreciate that. Zoom in extra close so you can see it. I think it's a really good likeness. So I have to say that I'm really pleased with this figure. And of course, I mean, it's basically the same thing, but just wanted to show. I mean, you can see right here how the shield goes, and then you can remove the hand, and then put in the other fist. Easy peasy like that. And now he's saying, hey, what's up? I'm over here. Hey, He-Man, what's up? Oh man, I'm having too much fun with this. Like I said, this is one of those figures that I like. Just as an aside, I'm one of those people that I love. Growing up, there's all these figures that I liked. I mean, I was like pretty much any other kid. I liked what I liked. But at the same time, it was cool to see, people of color, black people, characters. It's just, you're a kid, and it's like, even though that wasn't in my brain 24/7, it's cool. And I know, like, in the beginning, King Grayskull, I'm pretty sure he wasn't black. I think I remember a show where he wasn't. And I know sometimes people have an issue with changing, but I just think it was cool. And it's like, the part wasn't that huge, but it was nice. And, characters like Stalker, Roadblock, things like that growing up, when you see that, it just feels cool. So when I saw this character, I was like, all right, the character's cool, just straight up. Like, it doesn't matter his skin color. The character's cool. But the fact that that it was also a black guy, and it was played by the guy I know as President Palmer from 24, and I love that show when he was on it, I'm just happy. So I just gotta say, I'm happy to have this figure added to my collection, and I hope that you enjoy me geeking out looking at this figure. And if you do, consider giving me a like, sub, all that stuff that everyone else asks for. But hey, look, I'm trying to grow the channel, get a nice community of people who like this style of reviews. I mean, I know that there's tons of reviews out there, people with 10, 100 times my knowledge, but maybe you like my style. And if you do, hey, I thank you and I appreciate all the people who do comment and subscribe and all that. But until next time, I'll stop my rambling. Remember my motto: no discount, no deal. Catch you next time. All hail the king.